How's it going? Hope you're having a great day. It is a snowy day here in Idaho. Got snow blanketing the ground. I hope that you're doing well wherever you might be at. And so today I'm excited. I'm getting closer to being able to release a second album. And so in the meantime, while I'm working on that, I wanted to kind of do some story times on the album Believe and just kind of cover each one of the songs and talk about the background and that sort of thing. And so the first song on the album is Dream. And so Dream, funny thing, so my wife Anna, she was on Facebook a couple weeks ago and a Facebook memory came up and it was of me playing the song Dream. And that was 8 years ago. And so like it's kind of cool because it kind of gave me a timeline of when that was written. So 8 years ago, 2012, fall of 2012. At the time, so the year previous, 2011, I had graduated from college. We had moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico, which was, I guess, kind of a jump for us. You know, both of our families are from Idaho, and so there was some distance between our families and us. And at the time in 2012, we had two daughters and one on the way, another daughter. And so it was kind of a stressful time. So Anna, her pregnancies are definitely a difficult thing, you know, and she was a couple months into that pregnancy. And so that was kind of one of the stressors that was there, and also excitement, right? We love our children and we love, you know, the joys and just it's like a whole other dimension of life, you know, that they bring. And so at the time I'd been at my job for like my first job out of school for about a year and a half, trying to feel out what's going on there. And it was stressful, definitely stressful. And yeah, we're far away from family, you know, so we're kind of needing to be our own little family unit. And so the song, right? So Anna would take trips back to Idaho with the kids to visit family, and I would need to stay because I needed to be at work. You know, I only had so much vacation, and so during those times, I would, you know, try and occupy myself with different things. Like I attempted building furniture, right, and painting, and of course writing music. And so we had purchased a piano at a thrift shop. I think it was a Goodwill, and it was like $300, right? And I remember loading that thing into the U-Haul truck, and it was so heavy because it's an upright grand piano. And this other guy was trying to help me, and we're just like, oh, it was hard. And then once we got it home, it was just me. Well, and Anna too, right? But she's pregnant, and so at least maybe she wasn't pregnant when we got the piano. Probably not. I think she wasn't, so she could help out. I mean, she's a strong lady, and so like we get the piano in the house, and I just remember like, oh, it felt so good to have it in the house. It's a beautiful piano. We have since sold it to another family, but I remember sitting in that piano and just like the tone that it had, just had like this tone that would just resonate so beautifully, and like it would just flow, like you could play and it would flow. And so Anna and the kids are away in Idaho, and I'm in New Mexico playing the piano, and I write the song Dream. And so it's based on a lot of different things, right? So first off, you know, being a parent, you know, there is so much patience that is involved. And it's funny because one of my friends, Dusty, like years ago, so they had their first kid, and I was single at the time, and we're talking, and I thought I was like this patient person, you know, like, oh yeah, I'm patient, right? And I remember him kind of just saying, you know, like when you have kids, like that's when you really will learn about patience. And so I kind of, you know, took that advice and stuffed it into my mind somewhere, but it didn't really ring loud for me until I had had children. And Oh my heck, yeah. So having children really does test your patience so much more than anything else that life can really throw at you. And so yeah, at the time I'm in Albuquerque, and just thinking, how I would like get upset with the kids over just like stupid little things, right? And so that's kind of where it's, talking about the angered heart. Like, I needed to have a change of heart. My heart needed to change. And just as with, how it talks about like having that heart changed, I believe in a divine power that it's so hard to change, right? But like through divine means, we can change, and it's kind of like a prayer, in my heart, that I wanted to change. I wanted to become better. At the same time, like, I had my weaknesses and shortcomings as a husband, and I still do. And so that's written into the song. Like, I wanted to become a better husband, a better father, and a better person, all around. So yeah, that's kind of like where the song is based. It's based in this stressful time in my life, and kind of like a prayer that I want to become better. It was first written on the piano, right? Of course. So that was 2012. A few years after that, I started really getting passionate with music, and so that was the first song I wanted to record and release. And so I recorded it with the piano, and I liked it, but then I knew more needed to be added in, so I started playing on the guitar, and it just elevated it, like playing that song with the guitar, it just changed it. And so I put the piano aside and just went strictly guitar on it, and just resonated so much more with me. And so I can't remember which year it was, but so I basically put the song together, I recorded it on guitar, put the vocals in, and by this time we had moved to Idaho. So in the interim of those years, we'd come back, move to Idaho to be closer to family. And I was in my music room, and I just remember listening to that mix. It was a super stripped down version of Dream, and I loved it. And that's when I really felt and knew, like, I want to do this. I can do this. I want to be a musician. And at the time, I was still working my job, and trying to balance family, job, music, like, so hard and difficult. But Anna has been so patient with me through all of this, right? But yeah, so I had it recorded, I had it mixed, and then I had her come and listen to it, and she loved it too. And so it actually didn't become the first song that I released. I released Ships first, but Dream was the first one that I had really seriously started working on and recording it. Anyways, yeah, so maybe to go over a couple of the lyrics that mean a lot to me. Free the me and me, letting fall the walls of hardened clay. And so I kind of feel like sometimes I am not a very good communicator, and well, I know I'm not, like, in our marriage, right? Anna has told me so many times that she's reminded me how much I don't talk. And it's horrible, but I'm like not a very good talker. I don't really want to burden other people with my tests and trials, but I should, I guess, right? Talk about them. But yeah, so I kind of feel like sometimes I put on this clay, I'm burying myself in this clay and it dries, it hardens, and then I put on more clay, it dries, hardens, and it becomes a wall, and I'm kind of isolated in my own little world. And but I'm really covering up the real me, and so I'm wanting to free the me in me, letting that clay just to fall away, letting it fall away. And I really believe that each one of us has this me inside of us that's just ready to shine and be there. You know, we are like we are eternal beings. You know, we've existed since forever. Our spirits have existed since forever. And so I think of that, my spirit, you know, and that person that I really am, that's developed over such, you know, such an enormous amount of time. You know, this life is so short, right? But that spirit existed before this life, and just like freeing that true me, that true being that I am. And so those are some of the lyrics that mean a lot to me. And so with all of these songs, all these story times, like if you want me to talk about a certain set of lyrics, just, you know, put it in the comments below. I'll definitely address them either in the comments or just like add it into a different video or something. But I'm just excited. I'm super excited to be able to share these stories and also be able to at the same time share myself, you know, let people know about who I am. It's kind of like a medicinal thing for me, I guess, to like actually open up. It's always been a hard thing for me to really open up, but just really appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching, for listening to the music. I love sharing the music, and I'm excited for the new album, and can't wait to share it with you guys. But thanks so much for your time.